What up? Welcome to A2thaShow with me, A2thaMo. Here once again, have this empty seat for you, the listener, the guest, the watcher. This is for you to hang out. Now I gotta get right to what just immediately happened before I recorded. I stood up and was like, my back. I've had a lot of back problems in my life. And it feels like I just like pulled a muscle in my back. And so I went and grabbed 2 Aleve, took them, and then sat back down. We're gonna try to do this. And then hopefully the Aleve kicks in by the time this is over. Aleve is the miracle drug for me on the back pain. Not like that actually cures it or anything, but out of the like Tylenol, Advil, Aleve, that fucking family of that you can go buy over the counter, I find it works the best. So there you go. And also it feels like I should sit like this, like way back there. It's probably better for my back, but I'm not. I'm gonna lean up here. We're on alert. And I feel like I have a song, or someone I know has a song called Alert. I feel like it's Brad. Anyway. But let's get to it. Let's get this goddamn shit. Speaking of music there, I've been working on a lot of music. I think I mentioned last week. I'm going to keep mentioning it because I know the people that I need verses from listen to this. So let's just like sort of shaming them on a podcast forum. I have to write 2 verses for my last song I play on a recording called 30 something. Could see me adding another song because I'm really liking what I'm making at the moment. But that's the plan. It's just they're kind of sad song in a way. Not even sad, just I guess so. Depressing probably. But anyway, I need a verse from Southern Comforts for a song called Indifferent, and then waiting on a verse from Brad on a song called Pokemon Cypher. He's really coming through on that because he don't even give a shit about Pokemon like that. But I was like, I gotta do this, and I can only do one verse. So, anyway. There you go. That's behind the scenes of music I'm working on. And then speaking of Southern Comfort, I'm mixing an album of his at the moment. And I have high hopes for that. So we will see how it turns out. I think he'll be excited and impressed when it's all done. Not that I'm like super great, but his bar is pretty low for his mixes. And so I think he'll like them. All right. What's happening in the world? Well, here's something that's not necessarily in the world, but just me. I miss cold winters. If you live in a place right now and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's cold as shit right now. Man, I don't know. I just miss it. This year it's been so hot. It's the middle of January. Not quite the middle, beginning of January. But my birthday's coming up soon. And if it's going to be fucking hot on my birthday, it's going to be weird as shit. January's supposed to be cold. And it almost makes you think those weather planes, whatever they did with all the floods last year, just really must have messed everything up or something. Or maybe the Jews are mad at the coverage they've been getting, and they're like, oh, yeah, we'll show you with the weather. But either way, it's hot. I don't like it. It was, 70 degrees the day I recorded this. I was rolling my window. I got the AC on and a wall unit on. I can't sleep at night. It's so hot. I'm just sweating all the time. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I like when it gets warmer sometimes too, but it's supposed to be colder right now. I think they also hopped us up a lot that this was going to be like one of the worst weather winters. That was a lot of like the Farmer's Almanac says, and people are checking the trees and the trees are saying this. And it didn't really turn out. I think we may have had a little early snow and then it kind of just went away. And so I just think they cock tease us a little bit on the snow. I work for a school, so therefore there are snow days. And so I'll get excited about those. That's just fucking free days, And so I like those. I like a good snow day so I could just sit inside and play video games and not feel guilty at all because I'm like, I can't do anything else. So anyway, this winter's been a dud. Let's bring on some good cold weather. A tornado actually hit the day I'm recording this in Oklahoma. We got the first one of the year. So that's the type of shit that's happened. Tornadoes, but we don't want tornadoes. We need snow. God damn it. So anyway, RIP snow, cold winters. Maybe they're never coming back. Maybe this is what the Al Gore's been talking about. We'll see. We will see what happens. Man, there's a lot of big news like in the world. That's probably way more important than my cold winters rant. But, I'm not here to talk about like rank the most important stuff. It's just, here's what's happened. Here's my thoughts. I guess I'll try to go in chronological order, but who knows? The big thing was we captured the Venezuelan president. We as in America. I didn't do it, but you know what I mean. So I want to say it's something like for weeks, you probably heard of like, we're gonna go to war with Venezuela, and we blew up one of their boats, and we claimed they was selling drugs, but I don't know if we necessarily had evidence or not. And then we went back and killed like survivors, which is kind of against like fucking Geneva Convention or whatever the fuck it is. And so that's like, a lot of people have been hating over there. And then a lot of people on Trump's side, or I don't know if they're necessarily on Trump's side, but it seems like they'll be like, God, you just don't want America to win. And you're like, well, you can't just be fucking blowing up boats. I don't know. And so it's been pitched as like, well, they're bringing in all the drugs to America. But I think the stats it's incredibly low, like less than 20% come from Venezuela. Most of it comes from Mexico, China, stuff like that. So anyway, we bombed some parts of Venezuela as a distraction so that we could send in some SEAL team like operation. I don't know if it was actually the SEAL team, but some special forces to go in and extract the president and his wife, I believe, of Venezuela. And then they put it on a plane and brought him back to New York for a trial. And I think Jon Stewart said it best that they got reverse iced. I wish I would have thought of that joke first, of course, but I didn't. And it is so funny that we capture all these people and we send them to South American prisons, and then we go into South America and capture a president to bring them back, which does sound crazy to me in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of ways to look at it, I guess. And, it depends on what side you're on, depends on how you're going to look at it, I guess. I see a lot more of my liberal friends, they're outraged by this. Like, how dare this person, how dare we do this to, this leader? But then like a year or 2 years ago, you could see like Democrat people being like, oh, this guy's a dictator and he needs to be taken, done to him or whatever. So it just seems like because of who did it, they care, whatever. Now, the way it looks good, I guess, is if you compare it to like Iraq, where we fucking fought a war for 10 plus years, just to change their leadership. And then it kind of didn't really go the way we wanted. And it kind of all felt like it. If this is just going in and it's like a 1 day thing, and that way it is like, I guess, probably favorable in some sort of financial way of, potential lives caused and money spent now versus later and all that stuff. But it does seem weird. And then also there's a lot of fun videos of this Venezuelan guy that makes the conspiracy alarm bells go off. Like, he has a video from a few weeks ago where he's saying America is Netanyahu's puppet, and if Israel tells us what to do, we'll do it. And he's not scared to say it. Come get him, you cowards. And then like 2 weeks later, that's exactly what we did. So like, there's stuff like that does make this kind of fun. And then I do think there's something about Trump just saying the quiet part out loud of like, they have all this oil, we're going to just take over the country and we're going to use their oil and we'll show them how to get rich using it. It's, in some way you're like, well, yeah, that is what they should do financially. Like, it's crazy. They're not one of the more wealthy countries given they have more oil apparently than anyone else is what the word is. And, they have people that are just starving on the street. So obviously their government wasn't doing well, but what government necessarily is for other people, some are, but not most. We aren't, for sure. So anyway, it's so weird that he's just saying like, yeah, we're going to take it over. It's kind of like whenever he mentioned the Gaza Strip and was like, yeah, we'll just take that over and run it as a tourist spot. And he's just saying shit like, oh yeah, we can't just do that. I mean, it's like an act of like, we're just going to take over a thing. And then it's back to like the things I got mad about in politics when I was in high school, where again, during the Iraq war, it's like, we're just the world's police. We're going to go around and tell everybody what to do. I don't like that. I would say focus on the homeland or whatever, but and then I think some of the Trump followers that were big fans have fallen off and been like, well, this is weird. But a lot of them, they just shift the goalposts. Like, all of his American first sort of policies and all these things, kind of just go right out the window. And they're like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Like, he kind of secured the borders, and that was about it. He didn't do a whole lot else. So at least not compared to his promise. He's done other things, but it's like, doesn't line up with that whole like release the files and all that shit. So anyway, Venezuelan president, big deal. And then, or big news story going on. And then I think I mentioned a little bit of it last week. There's all this like fraud stuff in Minnesota with the Somalia people, or people from Somalia. I don't know. I keep saying Somalia, but I don't think I'm pronouncing Somalia. Anyway, we'll leave it all in. I don't give a fuck. And, there's a lot of stuff there. And some people will be like, I don't know. Maybe it was legit and they're picking on these people. And other people are like, no, they're for sure stealing money from the government. And then there's also about Tim Walz, who was their governor, the guy that was running for vice president with Kamala Harris, where he was going to resign because rumor is another big news story is coming out where it's like maybe they got fraud out of another couple billion or something. And he was kind of the one in charge of campaigning and liking all this or setting all this stuff up. And so who knows what'll happen there. But maybe coincidentally is the right word. I'm not sure. Also in Minnesota, a news story that happened a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday from when I'm recording, because I do record a little early lately. And an ICE agent killed a woman. And that's like this, the big news story at the moment. So ICE agent is still running around this country and trying to, I guess arrest would be the word they had probably use. A lot of people use the word kidnap. People who they think are not American citizens, and then they like try to get them out of this country. Now, I think many reports have come out that they have gotten many people that are Americans. And so that's annoying. Also, again, the campaign promises of the Trump administration was like, we're going to use these people to get the criminals and the drug dealers and the violent people out of here. But that's not at all. They're like, hey, here's a woman picking up her kid from school. Let's get her. It's definitely not how it was pitched. So anyway, I think what happened in this Minnesota case is a woman is like in an SUV, and maybe she's like warning people that ICE agents are coming. She's done it a few times, and the ICE agents tell her like, hey, quit doing that shit, which I don't really know if they have jurisdiction over. So I don't know if any of the fucking rules are there. But to me, if I just saw a random, pudgy guy look like me with a fucking vest just claiming he has authority, I'd be like, well, hold up. What the fuck are you? I don't know. And then if someone, I don't know, maybe it's real. People are like, maybe they think I'm an idiot saying this. They're like, what do you mean? They have ice on their vest. That's important. Now, I'm not against them. I'm just also not like going to be fucking helpful. I'm not pro cop too often. It's a very rare occasion that me and cops are buddies. And anyway, so this woman goes to drive off, in my opinion. There's many videos. Y'all should go up and look it up and watch it. And then this ICE agent shoots this woman that's driving, kills her. This is a white lady who is an American citizen. It wasn't someone they were after. Like I said, it was someone kind of interfering with their work. But even that's not something to shoot someone over. Again, let's think of this as a normal cop. And if someone was like yelling about there's a speed trap up here or whatever, a cop could just go up and shoot someone and be like, oh, you're interfering with stuff. Now, the ICE agents and the people on that side are arguing that this woman tried to run over the ICE agent. But I just disagree. You've seen the video. I mean, the guy got in front of the car. I mean, she's turning. All you had to do is take a step to the side. I think if this was reversed, if that was a cop car surrounded by protesters, and then that cop did that move, the cop side wouldn't be like, yeah, they were going to run them over. They'd be like, well, they could have got out of the way. Like, both sides, people would switch their fucking opinion up real quick if you changed who was in there. But to me, no matter who it is, and you saw the car the way it was started, that person could have got out of the way, and they put themselves in that position to get in front of a car. So that, I don't know, I think all that is crazy. And then they just shot someone. Now, the person that shot him did not get hit by the car, even though they claimed they almost got ran over. They walked away from it. They were perfectly fine. But then later on was like, I'll go to the hospital because that woman ran me over, which is like, we all saw the video. So it's all some bullshit, but it's like, we're in this weird world where I don't know if 1984 is actually correct. My wife argues that Brave New World is more accurate of our current world. It's another sort of book from the time period. And, but it is like, we just see the video evidence and then nothing's going to happen. Like nothing will happen to that guy, chances are. And those who shouldn't have been interfering with those Gestapo police we have running around. I don't know. Again, I wasn't for letting in 10,000 immigrants a day, but I'm also not for like going and picking up fucking people who are picking up their kids from school. And again, most of these, or a lot of these people are American citizens, so it's just crazy. I'm sure there's way more details about that shit, but good enough for me. Let's get to a song here. Now, I'm getting sad because I'm eventually going to be out of Sir Nasty songs to play here as the first songs of the episode. At that point in time, I think we'll push H2 up because I have quite a bit of his as well at the moment. And then we have a couple people in the wings waiting to make the normal episode. So I guess it's all good. Keep the cycle going a little bit. But I'm just getting sentimental. We've had Sir Nasty playing here from the beginning, and we will in the future, of course, once some songs coming out. And we're not out yet. We got a few more, and so the one we're going with here is called "Lock You Down" by Sir Nasty. I believe this is a little love song, so let's give it a listen.
A2thaMow makes beats.
Okay. I woke her up, get dressed today, we chillin', girl. You know I smoke the best, now how you feelin', girl? I'm making mimosas, we getting dressed for brunch. Kiss the side of your neck while I hold your fronts. I'ma let you go before we don't make it. It's something about a woman when she naked. Now I ain't gonna lie, I done did some shit, I'm dirty. Thinking if I get this bitch my heart, is she gon' hurt me? I'm like, fuck these other hoes, cause they ain't worthy. Her mama them from Dallas, her daddy them from Jersey. She the one for me, nobody better. She wanted to love me, and I just wouldn't let her. Damn. She said she wanna be with me, and she said forever, that means eternity. Till death do us part, ain't no returning me. If I got your heart, then let me turn the key, so I can lock you down. So I can lock you down. She said she wanna be with me, and she said forever, that means eternity. You see me riding round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, fuck you, and fuck them too, and in the drop top ride with me, she feel like Scarface. She brought light into my life, I was in a dark place. If you got your one, you better keep her, and learn how to treat her. I thank God for Nita. If me and Jeff the Hardy boys, then fuck it, she my leader. She give me sugar every day, she make my life sweeter. I'm so grateful that I met her, more grateful that she still here, cause she can do better. I just wouldn't let her. She wanted to love me, and I just wouldn't let her. Damn. She said she wanna be with me, and she said forever, that means eternity. Till death do us part, ain't no returning. If I got your heart, then let me turn it, so I can lock you down. So I can lock you down. Shit. She said she wanna be with me, and she said forever, that means eternity.
A2thaMow makes beats.
Let no man separate what God create. Amen.
Sir Nasty with "Lock You Down." Very, very sweet, very sad. Little, combo you don't get too often. I did like some lines. I relate to some, like the "she could do better" thing. I tell my wife that all the time. Also do a lot of like, yeah, I'm probably die pretty soon or way before you, and you'll find you a good husband that can accomplish some good stuff with. I do a lot of those sort of comments that probably aren't good. But hey, the voices speak. In the brain, and then the mouth repeats. Something like that. I don't know. Now I'm just fishing for titles for the episodes. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Sports, of course. I may try to get back to the NFL playoffs. I should be wearing my Jacksonville Jaguar hat. I think they're playing in the playoffs. But I have been checked out on football for, I think, 5 or 6 years now. And, I check in, like I said, in the playoffs every now and then. And I've heard the Jacksonville Jaguars are actually pretty good this year. So they did make the playoffs, but I've been pretty much like out on Trevor Lawrence, and I've always like, I don't know, they ain't for me, dog. But, I'm sure if they done well, random people would hit me up and be like, you're the only Jaguar fan I know. I bet you're pumped. So because of that, I feel like I need to watch some games just so the off chance, they make a crazy run or something. But by the time I hear this, I think they might already be out. So, there's always, who knows? Who knows how it's going to go? But shout out NFL. It's hard to. And then college football, I know a lot of people say this all the time, but it's so weird that like their playoffs get here and then all of a sudden their games are on different days and shit. Like college football Saturdays, everyone knows that shit. But then it gets to these playoffs and it's like Tuesday night, Thursday night. Like they're just, I don't know. It's fucking weird as shit. Just keep your fucking dates. I don't know. I don't like it. And then NBA wise, the Thunder have been playing absolutely horrible. I think they're like 6-6 in their last 12 games. And this says after them starting off so well. And honestly, I kind of don't mind them losing so much as far as like, it was getting boring listening to NBA podcasts that were just talking about how good they were all the time and how no one could beat them. And then as someone watching them, it's like, I don't know, it feels like they have some weaknesses, in some ways. And they've been losing a lot of games. I think it's really just they haven't been hitting 3-pointers. It's pretty simple. But you got to do it. You got to do it. And then Chet's impressed me lately. I know a lot of people probably are not as impressed, but he's trying to step up. So we'll see what happens with the Thunder. But that's still my a few times a week activity. I enjoy doing that, making some beats while watching some basketball. Good times. That's some of the only joyful. It's not the right way to word it. It's some of the more joyful moments of my existence. And then the other joyful moments, video games. So I need to get some footage for the one I'm about to talk about. So maybe after I record this, I'll play some of it and get some shit here. But in case people don't know, the footage y'all see, that is me playing it. Or last week, I think it was me and my wife's footage. And anyway, this week I've been playing SpiderMan 2. I know I've been mentioning how I was going to get to it eventually because I bought it. And then I went back and played SpiderMan 1 because they remastered on the PS5. I was like, well, let's go ahead and do this, get caught up on the story. And then I'm sure you've listened to this before if you're a fan of the podcast. I really wasn't a big fan of Spider-Man 1. And when I was replaying, I was like, oh, yeah, I remember I didn't really like this that much, as much as I thought I did. And it's kind of just not my shit necessarily. And then I started playing Spider-Man 2. And I don't know if it's because my expectations were so much lowered or what, but I've actually really enjoyed it. I think they improved on the first game in lots of ways. I think a small change they made to the combat made it a lot more fun. They now have like, I don't know what the right word is. You have like little special moves you can do. You hold L1 and hit a face button, or R1 and hit a face button. And it's a better way of doing it than they did on the previous game. And you're also both Spider-Man or you're both of the Spider-Man, Peter Parker and Miles Morales. You kind of switch back and forth. And the map's bigger. They really, the city looks better. Again, after just playing the other one and coming over, you kind of can see the things that have improved. And I've been playing on my PS5 Pro, so maybe now that won't be what the footage is on, but in general, that's what I've been playing it on. So maybe that makes it look a little better too in some ways. But anyway, I've really liked it so far. Do think it's better than the first game, and we'll see. We'll see how the ending and all that goes. I don't know when I'm playing afterwards. I really keep trying to talk myself into maybe getting Baldur's Gate 3 another shot because I bought that a year ago, and everyone told me I would love it, and then I just didn't. And so I'm like, I don't know, maybe I can give it another shot. But there's some games I need to, and I also have, I think, Red Dead 1 and The Witcher 3 download on my console. I was kind of there's a few games I need to get around to. I've played both those games before, but I think there is some joyfulness in playing some games, and going back. I think we're missing some of that in the modern gaming, where I am, and also just wait on all the big things coming. I'm really excited about Sorrows in April. I think that'll be a big one. I feel like I didn't talk enough about Spider-Man, but you know what? Fuck it. It's good enough for me. I don't want to get in too much on the TV show talk, but I'm really excited because a show is about to come out soon on HBO, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is based on one of my I guess it'd be my favorite novella series, which isn't something I would know about, but George R. R. Martin, the guy who writes Game of Thrones, many years ago he was asked to write a short story for someone's collection of short stories, like in a book. And so he came up with this Duncan Egg character. I don't know if he came up with or had it before or whatever, but he wrote about these characters dunk an egg, and then he eventually did, I think it's 3, maybe 4 total little novella short story things. And, that's like, I want to say maybe 80 pages. I'm not sure exactly how long they are, but they're great. And then the first, maybe they done more, but at least the first 2 got turned into like graphic novel comic books. And I bought those, or my wife bought them for me because she knew how much I like the other ones. And so they're turning that into a TV show called Now the Seven Kingdoms. And I'm really excited about it. Now, that'll probably mean I get bummed and disappointed about this show. But right now, I am like so excited for it to come out and see if they pull it off. And I really think they can. I actually kind of liked House of the Dragon. And once we've finally caught up to it. And then I see online that a lot of people are haters of the show. And I don't know. Again, I know I talk about way too much, but Game of Thrones was so good. I was such a huge fan. Love the books and all that. But those last couple seasons are they really upset me. Speaking of bad last seasons, again, I'll talk about all this with Soko in further detail, but this end of Stranger Things, not the best. Not the best. And so much so that it's not the best that people have these conspiracy theories that there's actually one more episode and how it's going to fix it in this way and that way. And it reminds me a lot of Game of Thrones in a lot of ways. Of people are like, what they're pitching for Stranger Things right now is great. Like if it came back down, like actually everything you thought was the ending was Vecna had them all under a spell, and that's how they thought they had a good ending, but it wasn't the good ending. And some people have played the original Dungeons and Dragons campaign this is based on, have other more information like, well, this still hasn't happened and this hasn't happened, so therefore it can't be over yet. And I do think if they did a big fake out and a last episode randomly came out and done all the stuff people are saying, that would be one of the best endings of a show. It would be like, holy shit, they done it. But I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. And instead, it's like a very disappointment. And the more and more fans pitch this like idea of here's how it should end and it's going to end, it makes the actual ending look worse. And the reason it reminds me of Game of Thrones is there's a specific episode, maybe season 5 or 6. I cannot remember what season it's in. But Cersei is held prisoner, and you're trying to figure out what her punishment's about to be, and things like that. And it goes to some sort of cliffhanger. And then you have a week before those episodes came out. And at that time, internet forums were still pretty popular. And so I remember being on the IMDb forums. I'd be on there every week, seeing people's all their conspiracies and theories and all that stuff. And this like movement started where people were predicting what was going to happen on the next episode, which they thought Cersei was going to demand trial by combat and then have, there's like a zombie Clegane, I don't remember what his name is at the moment, as her champion. And then that the church was going to select her son to be their champion, and she would win her freedom, but her son would be killed because of her. And it would be like this massive thing. And everyone's like, oh, that has to be how it had. It's so good. And then the episode came out and that didn't happen. And everyone's like, that fucking sucked. But really, it was all our faults for making up some fucking bullshit and getting excited about something that wasn't even a thing. It didn't exist in the books or anything. There's like no reason everyone should have got so amped to buy it. But I was one of them. I was like, oh yeah, that would have been so much better than what they did. And then that was the start of the downfall. And then after that, you started being like, they could have done this better and they could have done that better. But I still don't have hope in Game of Thrones. Damn it. I still believe. All right, let's see. I'm going to play a song. Let's just get to it. When we get back, I'll talk some random shit. And yeah, you know what I mean? Let's do some nice crisp episode. Well, no fucking around today. That's what I say. Second song we're going with here is from It's Your Boy H2. And he has sent me so many. I was listening through some to figure out which one I was playing on this episode. And I think the first 3 I chose weren't out yet. I couldn't find them on a streaming site. So I was like, well, hold on. Let me play one that's like exists. And so anyway, we'll see what happens. So I'm giving everyone a tease there. We got a lot of H2 coming up. And he's always releasing stuff. And the name of the song we're going with here is called Far From Over, off of his album Puppetry. So go stream that one. He also has a new one out as well called Emo Icon. And we'll get to some songs from that one as well. But I have so many, there's no need to rush it. That's the way I'm thinking. And so anyway, let's give a listen to Far From Over. Check it out.
Woo! This is the kind of shit you can't even predict, huh? You can get lost tonight. Fuck what you heard, you with the boss tonight. I'm a vet, no cadet, I got all my stripes. Better pack your pipe, cause when nature's in the spot, it's like caution lights. Yeah, you ought to right. If you really wanna stop some shit, you ought to like. With the flow that I brought you, knowing that your mama taught you not to like. And bring who you wanna bring, but you can't stop the fight. Cause one thing is for sure, they don't spit shit like this anymore. Why ask? Cause you're not sure, but no, it won't last with the bitches and the riches and the gimmicks galore. Yeah, the flash and the chain and the videos for sure. But you gotta wanna spit it just to give them some more. And though this game's tragic, I remain an addict. So now it's time to make the addict fall through the floor. Go tell them I'm the one. And when it come to this shit, what? I'm nowhere near done. With me up in this bitch, come on. Numbers about to run. Oh yeah, real quick. Let the motherfucker walk, cause we callin' how they come. When it come to this shit. Yeah, I'm pumping the iron, like the man is steel, and I'm the man still. Put the heat I'm supplying. Tell your man chill, cause I hold the kind of skill to make you bust up in your man's grill if I say lie. Trying to supply you with needs to your exit. In my crib on cribs, watching you get nexted. Head to the spot, watch the bitches get exited. Don't catch around at no charge or expense. Make them go down without a drink or a sweet kiss. But I show my hands, who the fuck you wanna lead with? Got a twisted mental, but I ain't with twisted metal, cause I hold the kind of metal sweet tooth can't compete with. Better explanation is no clown can beat this. Grab the white flag with the hand that you be with. Call it, make it known that the fame's some street shit. I'm on my grind right now, so leave a message at the beat bit. Go tell them I'm the one. And when it come to this shit, what? I'm nowhere near done. With me up in this bitch, come on. Numbers about to run. Oh yeah, real quick. Let the motherfucker walk, cause we callin' how they come. When it come to this shit. So now, if y'all don't feel me, then I'ma just get colder. And yeah, you can try to come kill me, but believe I'm a soldier. I'm on my grind, getting mine, trying to shine right now. Just like I always told you. Slow motion highlight, hogging all the limelight now. My work is far from over.
It's your boy H2 with Far From Over. Like the energy, very fun. Like the Sweet Tooth line, thought that one was very good. It kind of got wedged in there, I don't know if we got to breathe enough. But that's how it goes when you be fucking rapping fast. So spitting your ass off, as Skinny would say. Yeah, y'all go check out It's Your Boy H2. I do feel like if I could go back, and I know I didn't add something to the beat afterwards or whatever, and I rarely do, but that's like the hook part needs like something a little bit to make that part a little more epic. I don't know what exactly, but if we could have one more instrument to come in there, I'll note it for the future. I need to get better at the producing. I haven't made a lot of beats lately comparatively. I'm still making beats and shit. And the last two I made, actually, I think are amazing. Like I might have to steal them for myself, but that happens too often. But I need to get back into the beat. Like I really feel like I need to just get obsessed with it again. I've been kind of just casual with it, if you will. But I have a plan. I think that's how it works for me creatively, is I come up with a plan and then I can follow the plan. That always works better for me. So I just set up because of my naming convention, I'll get through a certain letter at a certain time. And then I will be like, all right, once that happens, I might take a break from the actual making beats and then deep dive into making loops or making my own drum kits, different things like that to inspire me in the future beat making process. I feel like, you clean up some folders, shit like that. My stuff's crazy. It's organized kind of. It's like organized chaos, if you will. But I could probably go through and work on that stuff. And that's not the fun stuff of the digital creation. No one thinks about let's back up some stuff, create some folders, do some organization, all that, all the clerical work, if you will. Because really, it's probably a big waste of time. What's it matter? But I do think it helps. Makes it easier, I guess, a lot of ways in the future if you ever need to get to different stuff. And also need to go back, I think, and stem out all of the songs I've recorded, and even also maybe probably some of the homie songs I have mixed, just so I can have their vocal acapellas to chop up and put on future house mixes. Whenever I finally get my full EDM version of myself, it would be good to have the vocals on lock. I'm just ready to go. And maybe that's, who cares, because by then the AI stem splitters will be so good that it's a big waste. But I'm keeping it old school, I guess, in my own ways. All right, what else happened? A lot of happening in the world, like I mentioned earlier. New York Mayor has taken over or assumed the position he won, and I see a lot of posts, a lot of complaining, a lot of random stuff. Now, it's interesting because I don't live in New York, and this doesn't really affect me, who the mayor of New York City is. But a lot of people are like, it's bringing socialism and it's gonna destroy that city. And if so, then let it be destroyed. This is the same thing with the automobile industry when we bailed them out. You're like, they should have just fallen. Like, this whole too big to fail is fucking stupid. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Now, the prediction right now is from all the people that criticize the socialisms and the communisms is that these state-run grocery stores are going to run out of food and there's going to be lines around the blocks and it's not going to work out they want. But instead of just waiting for that to happen and go see, it's like they have to yell about it now, which makes me think, I don't know if they're confident, because if it's going to fail, just let it fail and then be like, yeah, see, told you it's going to fail, you idiots. But they are doing Lady Doth protest too much so far. Now, I've seen where a lot of celebrities are claiming they're moving out of New York because they can't afford it now. And there's even some that maybe have campaigned for the mayor. He says he's going to have free subways, but they don't. It costs however much money. So I've seen all these news stories about this fucking place that I'm probably never going to go to in my life. And everyone's very upset that this one guy won. But that's what the people voted for. I don't think it's that. I don't see how it's such a big story, but you see it all the time. Now, when the conspiracy comes out that he was actually incubated in a think tank somewhere to, hired in Hollywood and to play this role, then yeah, that'll be interesting. But until then, I don't care if he's fucking making people not pay for subways or pay more for them or whatever the fuck the issue is. But anyway, I guess New York City is a big deal, so that's why everyone hears about all their shit. But that is my take right there. I guess one more thing about him, because I just wrote these two words and was like, don't forget this part, is I do see a lot of people in their complaints, because it is more of a right-wing thing. It's, the complaint that he's a communist. I see a lot of that. But then it's also that he's Islam or I don't remember which one's which. Muslim? Maybe he's Muslim. This is the religious one, and Islam's the people. It's hard to keep track of it all. But either way, I never thought of communists and Muslims going hand in hand myself. Then I started thinking, I was like, maybe that's like what the caliphate would be or whatever, like whenever all the Muslims come together and they're all underneath one guy, do they think of that as more of a communism thing? Because to me, communism, and to a lot of people, it's thought of as a more atheistic thing. Like, you don't have religion based in a communist society, but maybe that's just that one. That's how the Soviet Union was. And that actually, if it was Muslim communism, they would totally just have religion involved. So anyway, a lot of people are saying he's like bringing Muslim ideology, and other people are complaining he's bringing communism. And I was like, I don't even know if those necessarily go together, but I could be wrong. And people are like, yeah, here's like a million examples of where it's happened. But I'm dumb, and American schools don't teach us about the world. Why do we know? We're the Don Draper meme. We don't think about you at all. That's kind of how it goes for us here. New York reminds me of something. Pizza woes. Now, I know I've complained for years and years about this, but there's just no good place to get a pizza in the whole town I live in. Now, it's not a huge town, but it is a small college town, and you would assume you could get a decent pizza somewhere. Now, over the years, there's been a moment or two here and there, but every place really does have its issues, and it just pisses me off. Now, where I fuck up, at least this is what I tell myself, is I get too comfortable with a place where I have a good experience, and I'm like, oh, that's my place now. and then I'll go until they fuck up, and then I'm like, God damn it, and then I go on to the next one, and then it takes a while. So about a month ago, we ordered Pizza Hut, and I haven't had Pizza Hut in a long time because the one in the town I'm in used to be really bad. It was not good at all. And so we just never go there. And then I saw someone post about how it's actually really good lately. So I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. And we ordered whatever the fuck it is we ordered a month ago. And it was so good. I remember when I got, I chose to have the classic pan pizza because it reminds me of Pizza Hut when I was a kid, like where it had like the weird, it's hard to explain it, but there's a certain texture to the bottom of a Pizza Hut pizza that's different than any others. At least was back in the day, and it was perfect. And I was like, oh my God, this is so good. My wife doesn't really like marinara sauce, so we got it with the white garlic sauce. She liked hers, and it was a pretty good experience. So then today I was like, let's give Pizza Hut another go because they done it's pretty good last time. And then I go there, and it's just so bad. None of the taste good. It's all way too much sauce. It was a big bummer. Now, we have all the chains, the Papa John's, the Domino's. Those are both bad as well. Domino's I used to frequent, but they're just so slow. You go there and they're way behind, and they just lie on their shit, and they'll be like, it's ready so that they can like look good on their whatever monitors them. But then it's like, hey, your shit says I'm ready. It's like, oh yeah, it's 25 minutes out. And you're like, what the fuck's your sign say? So, and I get annoyed about that shit. Mazio's, I used to have moments where it was good. And the last few times I've waited literally 45 minutes longer than what they told me. And then they'll come out and be like, oh, here's the next one. And then it just isn't, like, they're just lying. And so that's a bummer. Also, if we go there, my wife has to get a calzone because that's what she likes there. And the shit's pretty expensive, more expensive than a pizza. And that makes me upset. Not upset, but a little bit. And then there was a place called San Ramos. It was like more of they claim they have a fire oven, and that shit just they'll just ruin a pizza. It has great highs. If they really nailed it, it can be great, but most of the time they do not nail it, and it's all soggy. It's like ordering a fucking soup on dough. And anyway, it's a big problem. I go to my little ass hometown I'm from, and there's a gas station that has pizza place, a Simple Simon's pizza, and it is like the best pizza I eat. And I'm like, every time I see my parents, I'm like, can we please go to this place? And then my wife, when she goes to her grandmother, same thing. There's a place she likes in this small town and then somehow in the town we're in, they just cannot get a good pie, as they would say. And anyway, it makes me very sad. Now I can get a pretty good pizza pocket at a gas station. Today I actually got a bean and beef burrito at a gas station, which I hadn't got in years. And as soon as I got one, I'm like, this is going to be a problem. It was so good. And then I just remember like, oh yeah, I'm just white trash at heart. And we know white trash people love gas station food. And I'm like, I'm going to eat so many of these in the next month because of this one dumb fucking moment where I had a lapse in judgment and bought one. So just warning future self now, what I'm about to do to my body. I'm just been so hungry. Ever since the new year started, I'm in no exercise program. I have no plans to lose weight. I know I need to. I need to work out and all that, but I'm not actively doing anything. But for some reason, since the new year started, I'm just hungry every day, all the time, which some people are like, yeah, of course. But I'm normally not like that. I'm normally pretty good at like eating one big meal a day, two sometimes. But I normally can just kind of like be hungry and be fine with it. But I am struggling. I think I also just want cigarettes all the time. And I haven't smoked cigarettes in fucking 7 years. Just the world, man. The world's crumbling down on me. All right, let's see if there's anything else I need to fucking talk about here. I have a sort of philosophical thing I've been thinking about a lot lately as someone who a lot of people call an asshole, is that once you are an asshole, it is kind of hard to get out of it. So and I don't think I guess I am really, you are what you do, and so people think I'm an asshole, That's just all there is to it. But I do think I am a sweet guy, some, deep inside sort of thing. And I had to learn to become an asshole after years of, maybe not going the way I wanted to or being taken advantage of for my kindness, different things like that. Right? So when you become an asshole, makes it all easier. it weeds out or filters out a certain level or certain people or something. And but once you are an asshole, people think that you can't get out, because then when you even try to do something like nice, or not even that you try to, you just do something nice because it's like, yeah, whatever. Then people are like, wow, thank you so much for being so, you can't even just do it and it be a normal thing. It then turns into a thing. So then they're basically just still calling you an asshole. They're being like, you're such an asshole. I wouldn't expect this kindness. So I'm going to go out of my way to make a big deal about it. And now to that side of it, they'll probably say, oh, I just need to do this to re-encourage the behavior. But it really does. There's just many times where people are just so condescending to me about how like they're surprised I'm not. So I'm like, the thing is, I just have to be an asshole. It's not that I am. I don't know. Maybe I am, and I'm just trying to justify it all here. But these are the deep thoughts I have in my brain as I sit at work. I'm like, you know what? I am an asshole. And that's half the battle. No one's half the battle. Everyone's always said that. Also, here's something that is very random, but I've become a little bit obsessed with the certain AI videos. I don't love all AI videos, of course. I do think it's all bad that they're going to take all the creative jobs as opposed to all the like shit we don't want to do. Like, that sucks. They'll pitch it of like, oh, the robots will come and we'll have all the time to paint. But guess what? The AI is doing all the painting too. So we're just fucking ourselves at this point. We're ruining everything. But that's how it goes. But some AI videos I really get addicted to, and I kind of should feel shame about it, I guess, are the silent whistle archive videos. Now, it basically just takes conspiracy theories that people are talking about, and then it puts it in like the fantasy settings. So it'll be like the goblins hoard the gold, and fucking JD Vance will be a hobbit, and it'll be like, and Mr. Vance tries to do this. I don't know. I love the converting a modern day conspiracy into a Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter-esque sort of video is very funny. And maybe even in my part of me, I'm like, this is so fucking boomer humorish. And so, no, it isn't, I guess, because boomer humor is not that, I've learned. But there's some about that's like, I don't know if I should find this as funny as I do. But I really do. I just can't help it. Every time I see on the videos, I send them over to Brad. He's like, doesn't give a fuck. It's like one of the only videos he doesn't like when I send them. So I know he doesn't care, but I just have to send them to somebody. Just one of those things. I don't even think it'd do well on this podcast if I showed it to Skinny, because he wouldn't fucking understand or know what the hell's going on. But anyway, if anyone likes a little darker conspiracy theory stuff, a little risque topics, I would say check out the Silent Whistle archive. Somewhere when I was talking about AI stuff, I was like, oh, there's something else I could talk about with AI, but I already forgot. So, that's how much I care about any of it. People do always mention how AI is, I guess I just did too, I would take all their creative jobs, but I do try to remind myself of like, this has been going on forever. Not that makes it better, but there was a time that like every bar or a lot of establishments in a town would have like a band, like real people sitting there playing music because they didn't have a radio, so like they would hire so-and-so and he would sit there in the bass playing the bass, boom, 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 boom. And then, someone would be on the drums and shit. And that those people made like a living being musicians. But then the radio came out, and even though it gave all of them so much more opportunity to become like a huge, big deal, the people that just made a living just playing local scenes, they just they got killed out, squeezed out of the whole equation. And so I do think with the AI that's happening, that's the same thing. Like certain people are going to be able to take advantage of it and really ride it. But a lot of people are going to be squeezed out of so many jobs where it's like, yeah, I don't think anyone would be like, oh, let's get rid of the radio and get all these people back. But I kind of think that would be better in some way, Something about this nostalgic, the idea that there's like local bands and shit like that, or just bands in general. No one does a band. I would love to be in a band, but I found it almost impossible. That's why I had to make my own beats and my own lyrics and do it myself, because I'm the only person I know that cares and wants to do that, in real life. So anyway, The garage band's dead. R.I.P. the garage band. All right, my last little thing I'll talk about here is Chevy Chase is making the rounds. He has a documentary coming out, or it already came out. I may watch it. Who knows? I've never been a huge Chevy Chase fan. I have to be real honest. I always thought he was a little overrated. I've never, like, people, my wife's family, for instance, they really like the Christmas Vacation movies where they wear fucking t-shirts from. I don't know if they really, I never watched any of them watch it, or never seen them watch it. But I never was a huge like I actually like Vegas Vacation the best out of them because it came out when I was alive, and so that one was fun. But anyway, never been a big Chevy Chase fan, but some stories come out from his time on Community, which is a TV show I did really like, and he had left the show at some time, and people said there was always some behind the scenes shit, but the story had come out that basically he said the N-word at the table read, and there are 2 black cast members, main cast members on Community, if you don't know, and that the female, Nicole, that Brown, I think's her name, who knows, she like left the set and wouldn't come back or whatever. And then they asked Chevy Chase to apologize, and word is, this is the only thing I want to bring up back, is that he was like, I called Richard Pryor the N-word. I'm not going to apologize to her for saying it. And I do think there's something about this that's like, if in your prime you hung out with Richard Pryor and then you called him the N-word and he was, I'm guessing, cool with it, at least that's the way the story seems to be told, it would be like almost you had the past, right? For like, obviously the past isn't real. I've had, friends of my life to be like, no, it's cool. And I'm like, well, it's not cool. I understand you're trying to be cool, but that ain't how the world works and shit. But it does feel like if anyone's to give you the pass, it is Richard Pryor. And I'm not siding with Chevy Chase here. I just think he has a little bit of a point. Like, who are you to get all worked up? Fucking Richard Pryor didn't care. I get it, but I would never say it, of course. But yeah, anyway, Chevy Chase, no one cares about him anymore. I don't think his documentary is doing well. No one from Community was in it. Talk about it. He was probably the worst part of the show, of the main cast of the 6 or 7 people. So I know Soko next time he calls in, I believe he watched it as well. All right, let's wrap it up here. I think we can get this one underneath an hour this week. I've been trying to get a short one in for a little while. Represent the short ones. We're in it with the song here. Now, I do have a new song coming out in a couple weeks. It's coming out on my birthday, actually, which is, let me see what day it comes out. So next Friday, I'll have a new song coming out. But until then, listen to my old music. That's what I say. And anyway, the song we're going to go with here is called You Lose. And this one is off of the Bros album that I did with Bradster X. And it's very, very good. I recommend you go and listen to it if you are interested at all in a sort of thematic collab duo album between 2 guys born in the late 80s, just fucking rapping. And this one, a little bit on the sadder side, probably a little more depressed side, but that's how half my music is. So, what can you do about it? So You Lose, A the Mo and Bradster X. So we're going to land on here. I appreciate everyone checking out the podcast. I'll be back next week, chances are, unless I die in some scenario. And then even then, maybe I'll have an extra one, but probably not. I probably won't get to it. So anyway, peace, everyone, and listen to the music.
You okay?
Oh, I'm fine. It's just that life is pointless and nothing matters, and I'm always tired. Also, I can't sleep. I'm overeating. None of my old hobbies interest me.
Not really. I'm just tired. The days are short. I don't know. Maybe I'm depressed.
I got depression.
Don't like me to fuck 'em. Not your dad, but your mom said you can call me uncle. And that's something, that's humbling. Appreciate anyone taking time out of their day to press play and try to relate to anything that I say. Hard as fuck when you broke as shit, both financially and mentally, but no, you can't quit. Addicted to it, maybe addicted to failure. Come addicted to our phones when they all went cellular. Don't that scare you? Shall look in the mirror, see it clearer. End of the world seems near, but I fear I won't be here when those times come. Disappear is quite fun. I'll be rapping, no, I'll be the white one. I'm trying to light one, smoke every day. Some hope that I would pray. Don't think I could face a day living any other way. So I found my niche, I found my groove, found my bitch, I'm trying to make some moves. Bad news is I'm a loser and a dreamer. Could be worse, like still a user and a schemer. Sometimes my mood get lower than a ballerina. Feel stupid every time someone trying to say that I'm a genius. Like that shit is so fraudulent. Honestly, sometimes forget common sense, but I acknowledge it. That's half the battle. Keep attempting to get higher than the Tower of Babel. Try to get off my high horse, but there's power in the saddle.
See, because you know you lose.
How do I lose?
Because I will beat your fucking dick into the ground all day long.
That's kind of gay, isn't it?
I will beat your dick.
Ha! Been down and out for the count and still rose up. So many scars had to seal those cuts. Holding up a shield to avoid any feels, knowing they'll never heal, just reopen up. My addictions take over, but I'll overcome. Not sure if I'm tough nuts or gone numb. Chain smoking so much I got raw lungs. Started young, it was fun, but so fucking dumb. Won many wars, lost plenty more. Settled many scores in many forms. Closed open doors I was headed towards, only to open them up later to an empty floor. Another opportunity lost in the sauce. At what cost? Humility tossed out the window, getting into what I wouldn't be today. But I wouldn't do it, you guessed it, any other way. Hard times make a man sometimes, until you start to find that none of your plans align. Can't fight against all the fallen sands of time. Afterwards feeling like you just ran through mines. Yeah, I can read through your scams and lies. If you can't, you're blind, but I'll stay a pantomime. Hands are tied, got my own life and some fans of mine. Can't thank them enough, thanks random guys.
People who've never been depressed don't really understand that when you're depressed, you're almost an entirely different person. Your thought patterns change, the way you feel about things change, your entire outlook on life changes. And oftentimes when people finally get out of depression, when they look back at that time they are depressed, they don't even see themselves. They see an entirely different person. It's as if someone else has hijacked their body, and in some sense that's what's going on. Your nervous system is being hijacked by the depression. It's changing how you feel, it's changing how you think, it's changing your belief systems. I only say this to let people know who have not been depressed that it is a life-altering experience, and until you've actually experienced it, you can't really say what you would or would not do if you were depressed.